What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. So today we are going to be working on this guy. This truck belongs to a local contractor and we're going to be changing a turbo for him. So right now it's on its second rebuilt factory turbo, and well, we want to do something a little different. So what we're going to be doing is this is a BD Screamer. We're going to stick with the VGT on this and pair it with BD's T4i stock replacement manifold. A couple of reasons for this. One, like I said, he's a contractor. He works this truck every day, whether it be hauling a little excavator, dump trailer, what have you. It works its ass off, and on the weekends it's hooked to a toy trailer. So going to, let's say, like an S300 or an S400 really wouldn't be wise for what he's trying to do with this truck. And he's not really out for a big power number either, so this is going to work perfect for him. We went with the BD Screamer because it is worked over. There is a lot of performance gain to be had. So the main thing they do is they change the inducer size, the intake size. I want to say the stock HE351VE is a 62 millimeter charger. Now the BD Screamer is a 64 with a billet wheel. The stock charger has a stamped wheel. They don't even consider it a cast wheel, it's a stamped wheel. So going to a billet wheel is going to be a big improvement there. Also, they reworked a couple other things inside to make this thing hit harder and just perform way better. So the BD manifold, this is their T4i factory replacement manifold. Bear in mind, both of these, both the turbo and this manifold, if you want to retain your factory, well, everything, your factory emissions, if you don't want to retune this charger, you don't have to do any of that. You just drop it in and go. Same with this manifold. It's got provisions on the top side here for your cooler, EGR cooler, and all that fun stuff. The big thing about going to a different manifold like this rather than a stock one is they flow. Just the way they flow is way better. So on a stock manifold, you can kind of see, I don't have a good way to show you guys, but so these front three cylinders run to their own chamber. This chamber only is coming from those three. The back three cylinders go to the back three. Makes them flow so much better. They're not fighting each other. And with the two-piece, you have this joint for expansion. The manifold can expand and contract in itself and not have a chance to really crack. So we'll get started. I think they're already started over there tearing it apart. When we get it all apart, we'll probably set everything side by side and show you guys little subtle differences. The big one you're going to see, the biggest thing you're going to see is the manifold design. The stock manifold is trash in this, compared to this one. So we'll get tore apart and let you guys see it. I want to give you guys a little bit of an update. We're almost off. Got the coolant line. There's a coolant line there that goes from your EGR pipe to the top of the turbo. Just pull the bottom one off. That's what's leaking down there. You have your oil feed line. Just got that off. All the manifold bolts are out except for maybe one or two. Well, probably two. And this thing's ready to come out of there pretty damn soon. So, not super difficult, but it does take some time. I'll give you that one. It is a little time consuming. But pretty soon this will be out of here and we'll put you side by side and show you what's going on, what's different. Alright, so now we have both manifolds. This is a stock manifold. You can see that is no bueno. There's not a lot of airflow there. You get max airflow there. This is not, what do they consider this? A log style?
I believe so. Yeah.
So all these ports go into the same chamber. Whereas this one, like I said before, your front three are their own chamber. Your back three reach around and do their own chamber. So the airflow on this one is way superior to this because you don't have.
He said reach around. The selling point. All of these go to here. These two have their own. In the stock one, all these go here, but these two go back, and so you have literally two pulses fighting each other, right? Where these don't. So they're coming around flowing. So reduced drive pressures and more exhaust flow. And two-piece, so no cracks. And the flanges are thicker. And I think they make them with, they add like silicone in it for ductile strength as well.
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you they don't crack.
They don't crack.
Nope.
Mine's white. Mine turned white, but it did not crack.
And you can see their port match more. So one of the things with all vehicles, right? Your exhaust is coming out, and what's it doing? It's not flowing. It's catching this. So you're creating, you know, turbulence basically. These ones being a bigger diameter, they're going to flow better through here as well.
Yeah. So now you guys can see the better difference here. This guy, stock charger, you have your silencer ring, then it ducts in a little more for the inducer. This one here, you have your silencer ring, and she's flat all the way down. If that means anything to you, this is 64.5. It's probably around 62. You can also tell the wheel. Not only is this wheel actually making contact with the compressor housing, which is no good. This is a stamped wheel, incredibly cheap, incredibly heavy, and slow. This one here being a billet wheel machine, nice, light, and as you can tell, you actually have more air volume going into the turbo because the center isn't as thick. So you actually effectively have more airflow than just having a bigger housing. The QST turbine blade thickness decreased by 25%, allowing for higher turbine gas flow and increased efficiency. So that is this area here they're talking about, and just the general dead space, the space that doesn't need to be there. So the only thing left to do now that we have we also bought, because we weren't sure what came with the manifold, what came with the turbo, we also picked up a turbo mount kit. And so this is their main gasket kit for the manifold. Comes with the flange gasket, which again it's a T4i. It's not, you know, it is what it is. Came with new turbo flange gasket. Came with the exhaust manifold gaskets. We also got this hardware kit. This is a turbo mounting hardware kit. Again, comes with the turbo mounting gasket, the main flange gasket, studs. It comes with the rubber washers for the coolant lines. There's two coolant lines. Let's see. One's right here, top, and then your bottom coolant line, water line, and then your 2-bolt flange for your oil drain and your oil feed. So you have the turbo drain line gasket in there. You also have, like I said before, the 4 washers for the coolant lines. And there should be something in there for the oil feed. I'm not going to crack it open right now, but we're going to go through, because the turbo came with some things. It looks like studs and nuts and some brass fittings there. We'll go through that and see what that we're going to use compared to what this. And then the manifold came with some stuff too, and we'll have to come back to you on that one. But the only thing we need to do now is get this together. I think what we're going to do, just like coming out, we came out in one piece. I think we're going to go through, we're going to mount the turbo to the manifold and slide them both in there in one piece. It's easier. You know, some of these turbo bolts are a pain in the butt to get to, and rather take a risk on leaving one loose or not getting tight enough. We'll just go through, we'll make sure they're tight, we'll make sure we have an adequate seal there, because that's pretty damn important. So the one thing BD did that I almost overlooked is the exhaust housing size. So if you can see this one, there's no machining in it. This is a factory housing, 404 or 1504. We already went over that. It's not machined out. Just where the turbine wheel goes in is it machined out. And then you come over here to the screamer, and you can see that not only has it been machined for a bigger turbine wheel, which is massive compared to the factory one, but this here has even been machined down. So the amount of exhaust flow you're going to get out of this thing is incredible compared to this. And not only that, but you can tell this turbine wheel is way more aggressive. You probably can't really see it all in video, but the pitch of these blades, you can tell, is substantial compared to these blades. I kind of assumed or guesstimated that the exhaust brake was going to hit harder with this setup, and looking at that, I do believe it will. I got a friend in Washington that's actually running the same charger, the same screamer, on a completely bone stock truck, and he hauls hay. He does things with that truck that he shouldn't do as far as overloading it, and he did tell me that the exhaust brake hits a lot harder on the screamer. So looking forward to that. Actually really looking forward to going for a ride, but for now we're gonna keep messing around here. We're gonna get them bolted together, and we're gonna slip it all in as one. So we'll get it together and show you guys the install. Last night we got as far as we could. All we had to do today was put the intercooler boot on and the intake. As you guys can tell, it's running now. It sounds good. Obviously the exhaust brake's on right now. It sounds good. Truck's a little snappier just from what we can tell. But I'm gonna take it for a ride. See what this Screamer can do. So that's where we're gonna end it. The test drive went pretty good. I don't know what you heard with the wind noise, but it drives really good. You gotta think the benefits of going with this charger versus a stock charger. One, this one pulls a lot harder. The power's there. The exhaust brake felt really good. And you're gonna see things that you wouldn't, well, you're not gonna see. Lower drive pressures, the pressure between the exhaust manifold or the head and the turbo itself, the drive pressure. This one's going to be a lot lower. It's a lot more efficient, flows more air. Just leaps and bounds. You're gonna feel a lot of improvement with this charger. Would I recommend it? Yeah. For what this guy does, this is a contractor's truck. This thing works. I think I said that in the beginning. It's hooked to a trailer most of the time, with whether it be a dump trailer full of gravel or a little excavator, and on the weekends it's toy hauler. So the benefits of this turbo in that situation is huge. It's huge. Light, super quick, real low, and just does work. It puts in work. It's a good charger. So that's where I'm gonna leave you guys on this one. Let me know in the comments what you think. If I missed anything, if you have any questions, let me know. And then we'll see you on the next one, because I'm sure there's a lot more to be done.